guys, my name is Neel and welcome to Neel Workshop Zone. So in this episode we're going to be talking about Python scope. So in the previous episode we talked about inheritance and how they work. So if you haven't checked out the previous episode, I recommend checking it out. And I also recommend checking out the older episodes as well, so you have a better understanding on what to learn. So in this episode, like I said, we're going to be talking about Python scope. So I think we talked about variables before when we talked about statements and operators, etc. But basically a variable is only available in the region that it is located or in the region that is created. Now that is called a scope. So for example, imagine we wrote a function. So we wrote a function called def my function, and let's say in the bracket you have some class name. Let's say something like that, and let's write a value x is equals to 30, for example, and let's say print x, and the function. So basically I wrote a function here, right? So in this function I wrote a function, I wrote a variable with a value assigned to it, I wrote printed, and then with the function. Now this variable over here is located inside the function, it's located inside the region. Now this is called the scope. So now that it's present only inside the function, it will work. So the output when you print this will be 30. Now imagine you don't write this over here, so you just write def my function, and you just directly write print x, and you end the function. So let's say you write my underscore function hi, and let's say you ended the function, and after ending the function you write the variable x is equals to 30. Now when you print this, it won't print anything because you didn't write the variable in the region in which to be located. So it will only take the function and only between the function, and as there is no variable between it, it won't print anything. Same applies even if you write it above the function or below the function. As it's not in the function, it won't count. So that is how that is what you call scope. Now you might get a doubt. So as you know, you can create multiple functions in a single class. So what if you wrote a function inside a function, and you wrote a scope inside it? Would it still work or it wouldn't work? And honestly it seems pretty confusing, and you might think the answer is no, but the answer is yes. So for example, let's write a function which is written over here, and let's write another function called that one's called my function, and let's write another. Now let's say between these functions we write x is equals to 2, and now let's say print x, and you close the functions. Now that you wrote this variable inside a function, and you wrote the printing value inside another function inside of it, it will still print it, and it's still considered it's still in the function. So that is a simple doubt clarified. So if you have a function inside a function and you write in this way, then yes, it will be printed. Now let's talk about another doubt. So imagine writing a long piece of code or an important piece of code where you need to write a variable, and you need to use that variable for multiple codes. So for example, let's say you're writing multiple functions, and you need to use the code inside the function, and you need to use the same variable outside the function. So it gets a little confusing. So instead of just writing multiple values and assigning the same value, so instead of writing x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2, z is equal to 2, and then continuing it throughout the functions, you can do something simple. So what you can do is you can use the keyword known as global. So by using the keyword global, basically you can use the keyword outside of the function, inside of function, wherever you want it, you can use it multiple times. So that is how global keyword is used. So for example, if you just write simple function like def my underscore function, and I just write something like x is equals to 2, for example. Let's say or something like x is equals 2, and use something known as global. Or if you just write it outside the function, like for example here, we just write global x is equals to 2, print x, and let's close the function. And after closing the function, you still write another one, print x. So we asked the program to print x twice, and one is inside the function and one is outside the function. So due to this, the code will print my function 2 times. So it will print it once inside the function and outside the function. So that is how the keyword global works. Now let's talk about last and final doubt. Imagine you have written 2 variables. So let's say x is equals to 200, and you also want to write another variable that has the value 300. So can you write the value 300 by using the same x value? No, the answer is no. But by using the global keyword, you can, because then the keyword considers one inside one function, and the global one you can use it anywhere else. So for example, let's write my underscore function, and let's write x is equal to 200, and you close the function. And now let's say on the top you wrote global x is equals to 400, and somewhere here you print x. Now the answer will be 200 and 400. So as you did in the global, the keyword global, it will consider the keyword x as 2 different variables which are not related. So yeah, that is basically Python's code. So it might seem like a simple concept, but it will get useful when you're doing simple pieces of code like global, etc. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out any new videos. And that's all folks, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.